Hey, we're back. We keep haunting you every week. Every week we haunt you. That's right. It's the off night. We're having a good time with you. The music's cool. The people are cool. Everybody's going to come down here and hang out with you guys. You're the hipsters. We're the biggest guys coming on. The big kahuna. The guy that's going to take you all the way through the hour. Welcome your guy, your host, Mr. Mark Sweetman. Yeah!
Hey, hey.
Boom.
All right. Hey,
Yeah,
welcome back. Welcome back to the off night. This is where we comics get together on the night that we're not working. And for the last year, it could have been any night of the week. But now that the vaccines are out there and some people are getting back to work, some more than others, I haven't really gone out there looking for work. I know they need me out there because the people that are jumping on the jobs are the ones that aren't really that experienced, let's say.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm working on new material. I'm trying to get my material past the the Trump.
Well, I don't work for a living anymore. I do it for the art.
Art. Oh, you're an artist.
So, yes, okay. I do it for the art.
You're taking gigs away from the people who are working it. Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah. Well, to listen to them talk, I don't want to get into it because then it becomes like a generational thing, and I just. But anyway, I'm probably going to call. I'm probably going to call Mark and Roger, and probably Andy over at or Billy over at Big Tommy's, and I'm probably going to just go and do guest sets for about 6 months and just see how I feel about. There's a lot of material that I've used for 20 years, and it still gets laughs, so I'm not dropping it. But you got to add new stuff, otherwise you sound like you're. How about that Reagan?
How about that Reagan era? Yeah, Ronald Reagan. Yeah. Yeah, you get caught doing impressions of people from 1946.
Exactly. Who's got Windows 95? Are y'all into that now? You got that Internet Explorer? Yeah.
Good. Boy, I got my Casio, and boy, my Casio watch is not working so well. Everybody got a Casio out there? Yes, I got you. All right.
As far as I'm concerned, flip phone, we've reached the penultimate of technology because I've got my Nokia flip phone, and so I'm set for life now. So.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, God.
Anyway. Hey, let's get the rest of our crew in here because we got some things to talk about.
But I want to make sure you get a new sponsor, the Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon.
Put it. What is that?
Duke Cannon soap. Soap to wipe your ass with. There you go. A big bar of soap for the apocalypse.
Wait a minute. Which part refers to the ass? The Duke or the cannon?
Big ass brick of soap.
Oh, it says big ass brick. Oh, okay. Now
fresh cut pie.
Yeah, maybe it's just because it's a big bar of soap. They call it big ass because the kids they use the ass now to.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, look at the size of this thing. You're never gonna finish it. That's the apocalypse, man.
Tell you what, it looks like the soap I buy from the Amish. We buy. No, honest to God, we buy bar soap once a year from these Amish people up in the middle of the state. And,
cool.
And it lasts the whole year.
This is interesting. It's kind of like these things are huge, but what got me also hooked is this thing, a shampoo puck.
Is that a big ass shampoo puck?
I like that. It's a shampoo puck. Well, I guess it's 175 shampoos inside your little tin thing, so you don't have to get any plastic bottles.
Now, wait a minute. Now, every time you get out of the shower, do you put a little check mark on the side of the tile so you know whether you get 175 or not?
You're a cheap ass guy. This is perfect. Take it out.
Yeah,
whitefish.
Andy, I don't know if it's a Michigan thing, but that looks like a lot of the stuff that I have. I mean, I don't use shampoo bottles anymore either. I wonder if that's a Michigan thing.
I think this is perfect for camping, and if you get into the apocalypse and get to the mountains. Okay, here we go.
Now, I got to ask you this. Do you use the same soap for your hair and your beard?
Well, this is supposed to be able to use for your hair and your beard, and then you can use the big
ass
for your body, big ass. So you can do them both.
Okay, I I sometimes use my big Amish block for everything. And I'm into my, what are we now? April 26th. Since I got them as an early Christmas gift, so like since December 1st, December, January, February, March, and almost all of April. So 3 bars. I'm on my 3rd bar. I just started my 3rd bar. So it's almost 2.5 months per bar. I mean, this thing lasts forever.
Yeah.
These Amish.
So it's like, you buy I think
three. I think I'm going to start buying more stuff from the Amish.
There you go.
Maybe my next flip phone.
Maybe your next, your very
funny. Huh? Yeah, my next one, it'll be a can that opens up with a string that comes out of it.
Yeah, the rubber. So yeah, it's pretty. If you ever had their cheese, get the cheese, man.
Okay. Anything else we need to talk about before we get our others out here?
Sure. No, nothing else for me. I'm good.
Nothing else for you. All right. Remind me, I do want to talk about the Kentucky Derby coming up because this is the last show before the Derby.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, representing New York talk radio and stand-up comedy, here he is, Sam Greenfield, everybody.
Santa Cruz, fighting banana slugs.
Santa Cruz, okay.
UC Santa Cruz, and I was wrong, that's Northern California, but UC Santa Cruz fighting banana slugs.
Yeah, that's a great team. That's
what a great name.
I love that name.
I don't think it matters. I just want it's in the middle of Pennsylvania. There's the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. It's a AAA team. I think I told you about this. The manager, I don't know if he still is, but when I was there, the manager was Lance Parrish.
Yeah, you said that. You said something about that last week. I remember.
Well, see, I think Eastern Michigan University really blew their transition of their mascot. They should have gone with an emu.
That's what I thought.
The name spells emu.
Eastern Michigan University, the emus.
Well, that's way beyond. That's way beyond the mental pay range of most colleges. So
So what they went with eagle. So what? Everybody does an eagle. Nobody has an emu.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Dude, that's sad.
I know. It was like such a lack of imagination.
Really?
Anyway.
I just can't believe how huge that campus has become in the last 10 or 15 years. That's just
Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Michigan, yeah. Well, it's like if you can't make it into Michigan, you still get the feel of the college town because they're only 6 miles from each other, Michigan and Eastern Michigan. So you kind of get it's kind of like the Boston part of our town, where all the you got Eastern, you got Michigan, you got Wayne County, we got Washtenaw Community College. It's the St. Charles River West is what it is.
Where's Ryan?
Exactly.
What's that? She's coming.
Where's Ryan?
I'm getting her. Just everybody relax. Here she comes. All right.
Yeah.
That's why I have Ryan. The only women I have on the show are the ones that have a male name. So here comes Ryan. All right, everybody. Kathy Ryan here representing Detroit, Florida, and our journalist. Here she is, Kathy Ryan, everybody.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Kathy, are you a priest or did you get your throat slashed in a poker game? What is that?
I want you to know how cold it's been here. I had to find a turtleneck.
Oh wow!
It's still stinking cold here. Oh,
but you're in Michigan, right? You're in Michigan.
Yeah. Well, I won't get into what parts of my body are frozen.
4 months.
But it's not my neck.
4 months of Florida, she gets weak on us.
Yeah. I want you to know, Sam, the name of the what is it? The stinky banana or whatever it is.
Fighting banana slug.
The fighting bananas. What's the mascot's name? Sam.
I could not be prouder.
I knew.
I could not be prouder. I could not be. I am so happy to know that.
I knew you would be.
Hey, I got some topics tonight. You guys ready?
Ready.
Sure.
First of all, don't know if everybody knows him, but about 20 minutes ago, Eric Fagan tied the knot. Eric, do you know the name, Sam?
Eric Fagan. I know Donald Fagan.
Eric Fagan was Bud Friedman's booker at the Melrose Improv.
Oh my God!
From about 1986 or 87. Yeah, 80 to about 1992 or three, I
Oh
think.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. He got married.
anyway, he got married. Well, since
On a Monday?
on a Monday, at a bar at a bar with a mail order preacher.
Is he pregnant?
Anyway, no, he's not pregnant, and he and his wife are both in their 50s, so everybody cut him some slack. But anyway, they better not be pregnant. But anyway, he once he got done with comedy, had a great time with it.
Or vice
he's
versa.
one of these. Exactly. He's in Sarasota, Florida, and he works for either animal rescue or a biology museum or something. Anyway, he got into something that's more science than entertainment, and but he knows everybody, which is kind of cool because it's just kind of neat to have somebody out there was a big part of the big improv empire. He was a big part of that, evening at the Improv and the whole. I mean, he basically booked the showcase for him. And anyway, he got. So those of you that know Eric, so Mazel Tov, Eric. Glad to hear it. So enjoy your life together.
Send a place setting.
Send a place setting. There we go. I don't know her. She's from Sarasota, so it's not anybody that he would have.
Oh, so he met her in Florida.
Yeah, well, he's been in Florida for 20, 25 years now. So, anyway.
I know people who used to work for Bud, and they never say they quit. They said they escaped.
I was thinking of having Deborah Sartell on because Deborah Sartell is another person in comedy that did a transracial adoption. So, there's a whole gang of us that people that somehow in the comedy business decided that when it was time to adopt it, we were going to adopt people that didn't look like us.
When we adopted Cass, they one of the things they asked us was, do you care about the race of the child? And we said no. And I said, do you ask that? Is that a commonly asked question? And the woman, she's a wonderful woman, Barbara Draper, and she said, you don't know this because you're new to Las Vegas, but this state was segregated until 1967. And there are people, and she said, there are people who will not adopt a black kid. And I look back on that now, and I think to myself that there are people who were still waiting for a white kid by the time Cassie learned how to walk.
Oh, wow.
Who started the same day we did, looking.
Yeah.
That's why so many of them are getting these kids from Russia, which
I don't understand. When there's so many kids here,
there's so many kids here. Plus, the ones that, as bad as the kids you might think, and even a racist might think, how bad the kids might be here. You go to Russia, and those are the kids that they leave in cribs and just throw them.
Oh no,
food.
They did it in Romania. They did it in Romania.
Yeah, everyone I know who has adopted a child from Russia, it has not ended well. Two of the kids I know are in institutions, and these are parents that did everything they could, and the one kid twice set fire to the house.
Yeah,
they had it coming. I heard. I heard they were assholes. So
Yeah. I mean they had attachment. They're called psychological. It was attachment disorders. They could not bond with anyone.
They're isolated. So they're socially and physiologically isolated. Yeah. It's hard to believe that a country run by Putin could screw over kids.
Or by Madame Ceausescu in Romania.
Do you remember the story about her? Before they were executed.
Did they execute her too?
I mean, literally, like 5 minutes before they were shot, she said, "I have been like a mother to you," and the guy said, "You shot my mother."
Oh God!
Yes, so but I stepped in after that, didn't I?
But the second she breathed her last, I was there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When Kennedy was president, I remember he had Ceausescu as a guest, of the United States. And Ceausescu, when he was younger, was this like dynamic looking guy and all that, this. but there was no indication, and I don't know why, of what a horror show he was as a human being.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like, 1 minute, it's not like, gee, he was nice with Kennedy. No, he was an asshole then. He was a horrible human being then. Yeah. But I love that line. I was like a mother to you. Yeah, well, you had to be.
Yeah.
You off mine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got on another topic. Saw Jim Mendrinos today. Did you see his Facebook posting? You know Jim, right? Sam?
Regrettably, yes.
Okay. He's teaching an online comedy class, and he was just asking, who would you have if you were teaching a class, who would you have your students watch as a stand-up comic?
Anybody but him.
All right. Well, okay. That's why those who can't do teach. So I'm just
and those who can't teach shop. But that's the Woody Allen line. But let me explain why. I really want to explain why. About 10 years ago, maybe more, probably more, Jim came up to me and said, I want to be your manager.
Ooh.
And I said, all right, what the hell? I don't have one. Let's see what he can do. So he gets me a Letterman audition, and Zoe Friedman was the talent coordinator at the time. And I had my audition, and he said, she really liked you. She really thought you were terrific. She wants to see you one more time, and I think things are going to look really good. So that's, I at that point in my career, I never like jump up. Oh, that's great. That's nice. Let's see what happens. Let's not get too worked up. This is the absolute truth. Physically, I never saw him again for 2 years.
Wow.
Okay, you got that? I called. Yeah. I stopped by his. I never saw him again to finish up the audition. Never, not once. And what I found out was from my wife, because she knew the inside story and I didn't. He had an aunt who was about to die, and he wanted the apartment, and he stayed in that apartment. And he would not come back. And but I said, Jim, if you're sick, if something's wrong, just let me know, and I can call Zoe and set up the audition. Nothing.
That is so
for
New
2
York.
years. Then he got involved with this humor magazine. Okay, and he said, "Would you like to write for it?" And I said, if I can stab you with the pen that I'm using to write. No, I said, yeah, sure. So I go in and we have a meeting of all these humor writers. And 2 days later, he disappears again. So my opinion about him is not other people's opinions. Because what he did was, to me, was such a shitty thing to do. Just say, listen, I'm house sitting this joint. I gave Zoe your number. Do something human, but he didn't. He didn't.
You could make a phone call while you're, hibernating inside.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen Jim, but hibernating's the perfect word. I'm surprised he doesn't have honey smeared all over his mouth. So that's why I despise him. That's why. I couldn't understand why he would do that. What kind of human being would do that? It stunned me.
Yeah, really.
All right. So my suggestion.
Vented.
Everybody had Carlin.
I'm sorry. What?
Everybody had Carlin, Pryor.
No one had Pryor.
I'm going to say Jim Gaffigan and Pat.
That's what I said. I said everybody had Carlin and Pryor. People were suggesting, and mine. I'll tell you mine after you guys. Who would you guys suggest for observing in a comedy class?
Jim Gaffigan,
Joe Bolster.
Oh, that's a good one.
What's it? I can't think of his first name. Shoemaker.
Craig Shoemaker.
Craig Shoemaker.
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
Jim Gaffigan, Patton Oswalt.
Let me tell you how good Craig Shoemaker was. I saw him 20 years ago at Mark Ridley's when he was just starting out. And he came back after 20 years, and I remembered him. And I went to see him again.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
And we used to go to Ridley's all the time. at least once a month. We were
The
going to visit.
castle?
Yeah. And for me to remember Shoemaker, wow, he was the love doctor or whatever, the love master.
The Love Master. You know,
Yeah.
Shoemaker and Kathleen Madigan are the only two performers that play there more than once a year. And they have such a draw there. And the only other one was Tom Sharp, but Tom Sharp retired. But Tom Sharp used to come in there twice a year too. You remember seeing Tom there, Kathy?
Oh yeah,
at the castle, yeah. But Joel Bolster, you know, it reminds me. Sam did it again.
I can't
Sam,
help
you there?
it. I'm here. Hang on.
Okay. You're a vibrating orb. Once again, you're a vibrating orb.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Voice from beyond.
There I am.
There it is. All right, I'm going to bring up the picture, and then I'm going to take down the other one where there's no picture.
All right, I'm sorry.
There it is.
Yeah, because otherwise it sounds like there's two of you out there. Okay, there we go. Get the hell out of here.
Let's see.
Anyway, I was going to say Joel. Now, when you say Joel Bolster, right? It reminds me Tim Slagle and John Means and Dobie. I can't think of Dobie's last name from Chicago, and we're trying to get Rich Schneider in on this. And you might be interested in this too, Sam. We're putting together. We're trying to put together a not exhibit, but what do you call a collection? When a museum has a collection.
Anthology?
Yeah, we're trying to put an anthology. Yeah, we're trying to get like road comics from 1975 to like 2005. And Joel Bolster would be a perfect one. Sam, you'd be good for this.
He was so technically flawless. That's why I would encourage young comics to watch him, because he was technically just spot on. You know, but by the way, I don't know if you know the story. When he was on Star Search, I think the world of this guy. He's not only a great guy, decent. He completely went blank.
Oh, damn!
Had a good time.
He completely. I mean, went 10 seconds without saying a word. He just stopped.
Yeah.
And you know, this is someone I like. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like someone, you know, somebody says, wow, they're, you know, look what happened. And you go, yeah, ain't that too bad? No, but this was a good guy. And I don't know, he lost his shit. You know, he just did.
Yeah.
Joe Bull. So is he still working?
Joe? I saw a picture, a photo of him and Steve Schaefer, and I think Barry Weintraub and a few other guys. I don't know if any of them are working.
Well, Schaefer, I don't know if Weintraub was part of it, but Mark Schiff wrote and produced a few years ago. Am
I the only one who hears your sound going kablooey?
No, I hear it too.
No, I hear it too. You're going bizarro there, Mark.
Your sound is going kablooey.
Yeah, you're doing something bad.
Yeah, where are your hands?
It's all your fault.
I blame Trump.
Hold on.
Yeah, we can't blame Trump anymore. I mean, the guy's a little wacko. We can blame the aliens.
No, you can blame Trump. He's still alive.
Oh, true. Okay. What about the lasers from space? Is that possible?
Well, that's a Jew thing, so you wouldn't understand.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You know, they're actually selling Jewish space laser pins.
Yeah,
I saw those.
I'm getting one. I'm getting the T-shirt.
That'd be fun. That's a good one.
I love that.
All right, how do I sound now?
Sound like you're in a box.
Do I sound? Okay?
No, you're in and out.
In a box?
In and out. That's the thing. You're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on. I put the internal speaker on, hoping that would help. Oh,
now
wait a minute. What's
fine.
this one?
Yeah, you're fine now. You're better now.
It's fine now. Right now, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So, internal speaker, internal mic. I'm going full laptop now. No outside speakers.
Oh.
Yeah. So Carl LeBeau died this week, and he is
what
another one of
a
those guys that
that's
comics
sad
look.
tale. Sweetest guy in
Yeah,
the
he was a
world,
great guy.
and
Yeah,
funny
and
as
he
hell.
was, and when he was on, I had met him at times at non-comedy functions, and he was just a decent guy. But whenever he hit the stage, he was a performer. I mean, he was on, and he was
Oh yeah, oh
whether
my
he
God!
was, and
Listen,
he,
I worked with him at the MGM Grand in Vegas,
uh-huh,
and just before he
yeah.
goes on, he goes, "Do I look scared to you?" And I go, "No." He goes, "'Cause I am." And like he did like 45 minutes, but like every 10 minutes or so, I was in the wings. Every 10 minutes or so, he'd look over and go, "I hate them. I hate them." And the audience is, they can't hear that. He's killing. He is crushing. And he looks over and goes, "They mean nothing to me." That was Judy. That was Judy Tenuta's sign off. "You people mean nothing to me." Oh God! I was
Yep.
in a hospital Saturday. I buried the
So anyway,
lead.
my
Wow.
Wait a minute, you were in the hospital?
Yeah, I'm
what
sorry.
happened?
I was in the hospital Saturday.
Why?
Because of all the
All
ailments
right. Well,
I've had.
hold on. That's gonna take us off. That's gonna take us off on another topic. So I just want to add mine.
No, no,
I
no.
told
Stick with
Jim
stick with the one you have,
that
please,
my
please,
nominee
because
was.
I'm fine now, so it's okay.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I told. I'm telling you what I told Jim. I said he should have his students study Robert Klein, because my impression
That
is
ain't
that
bad.
if you look at the comedy before Robert Klein, you look at the comedy, stand-up comedy before Robert Klein broke. In other words, not when he started doing it, but when he became
Right.
got television spots and people started to know him. And then he probably peaked about the time cable came along. I think he had a couple of cable specials, and then you didn't hear much about him because so many newer comics were coming along. But you look at the comedy before then and after that, and you can see how much influence he had on the
Oh,
form of stand-up comic.
he was the king
Yeah.
of observational humor,
Yeah.
Yep.
and also making fun of commercials.
Yeah.
It was him.
And he talked to the audience members. He didn't talk to
Yes.
you had comics that would talk to the audience, and there was a wall. You know what I mean? It was like the impenetrable wall where somebody said something back. He would acknowledge it and talk to that person that was saying it, whether it was a theater or a
Yeah.
club or whatever. And
Yeah.
so I think that he's a great guy to study as far as stand up goes. Anyway, that was a topic I thought I'd bring to the table.
Yes.
All right, so
It was-
now let's talk about your
Kemp was
hospital.
great.
Well, let me say this real quick. One night, Robert Klein came to the comic strip, and Jim Mendrinos, and this is not a knock on him. This actually happened. It's just Jim Mendrinos walks up to me after Klein leaves, and he goes, "The comedian who I most admire in the entire world just walked out of this building, and he came here drunk and hit on my girlfriend." And I said, "Really? Wow, Brad Trackman hit on your girlfriend?" He goes, "That's not my thing." See, I love talking to you guys.
All right, so how's your health,
Brad
Sam?
Trackman is. See, there's some people I go, "Brad Trackman, he sounds like your, like your gynecologist." No, he's so here's what happened. Because of all the ailments I've
Brad
had,
Trackman?
smoked parliaments. I don't know why I remember that, because I used to smoke and I would bum off them. Because of all the ailments I've had, it is just desperately important that I hydrate a lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I say a lot, I mean 96 fluid ounces of water a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you're right. I'm peeing right now. And so feels good. Feels good, but oh, the bed. Anyway, so hi, honey. It was Saturday night, and all of a sudden I go to get up. and my legs are cramping like you can't believe. The pain was horrendous. And, Barbara came over and said, well, try this or try that. But it's almost like, you're getting stabbed and someone says, well, why don't you move over a little? Because I couldn't, I was in too much pain to try to negotiate, massaging or anything else. I was just trying to position my legs so that they'd stop hurting, and they wouldn't. And usually when this happens, and it happens about once a year, it's one leg. This was both legs.
Ouch.
Wow. And one of my feet. Wow. And my hand. Everything was stiffening up. It was horrible. Well, not everything, but anyway. So Barbara said, we're calling an ambulance, and we went to Mount Sinai, my hospital of choice. If in case you don't think that's Jewish enough, the full name is Mount Sinai Beth Israel.
Oh, and well,
so there you go. Yeah. So we went there and went to the emergency room, and the doctor, he just said, my doctor, my hematologist is pretty well known. So he said, and I called him, and I because I would call him, and so he said, however much you're hydrating, which usually 8 glasses a day, he said, increase it by 1/3. Because as I'm talking to you now, my right foot is cramping a little, and I've had 12 glasses.
I have
I'm not
13.
in pain. It'll go away, but it's just something I live with, and so so I went home. Barbara and Cass, they went home. And so they said to me, how did you get home? I said, I caught a bus, a city bus, it's 2 blocks away, and it drops me off 100 feet from my house, Yeah. And she said, you're in pajama bottoms. And I said, we live in New York.
I was going to say, would that make a difference? In a pandemic, who cares?
I may have been the best dressed person on the bus.
Yeah.
So did y'all watch the Oscars?
Yeah. You drink almost as much as Tom Brady.
I'm sorry?
You drink almost as much water as Tom Brady.
I am.
Does he hydrate?
He hydrates like a maniac. The guy is nothing but water every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy will back me up on this, Sam, but our Sinai Hospital here in Detroit is Grace Sinai. Yes. Is it Sinai Grace? One of the two. But Sinai Hospital in Detroit merged with the Sisters of Grace Hospital. So it's a merger of a Catholic and a Jewish hospital. So it's called Sinai Grace for your full eclectic health care.
Wow. Well, there's a hospital in St. Louis Jewish Hospital. And I've been to St. Louis, and I figure it's the emptiest hospital in the entire state. But the mistake the Oscars made? They should have done what the Emmys did. Nobody there. Have everybody Zooming from their home or a bar or wherever they wanted to be. Don't have it there. And what was the thing with, the last Oscar should be best film.
Yeah, I was surprised that they did the best film, and I thought, did I miss the best actor and actress? No. Why did they save that for the end?
You know what? I think the theory on that is the best picture award is always a sort of a clunky climax because you've got 20 people on stage. They bring everybody.
Right.
There's
everybody.
There's 18
actors.
Everybody's up on the key grip is up on stage, for Christ's sake. And so I think what they were thinking is the best speeches are always the actor and actress. And they thought that Chadwick Boseman was going to win.
Oh.
And so they said, we'll just make the actor last, and then he won't come up, and we'll be able to wrap. Well, as it turns out, the guy who won it wasn't Chadwick Boseman, but he wasn't there anyway, so they still got their wish. It looked so clunky the way it ended,
But see, this is the thing. I follow these things, the acting, what people are saying about, and this year reminded me.
You're a voter.
I did. This year reminded me of the year that what's his name? That Denzel Washington beat out Russell Crowe. Denzel Washington for Training Day, Russell Crowe for A Beautiful Mind. And the reason that, but this was different in one respect.
Right.
And the reason was people got pissed at Russell Crowe because he was showing up to things drunk and you know, shit like that. You know, so, but he was almost a lock. And Chadwick Boseman, obviously for other reasons, was considered to be a lock. But in the last couple of weeks, people were saying, have you seen Anthony Hopkins' performance? It was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of sentiment that people weren't talking about started to swing, you know, even though the voting was already done.
Yeah.
But, you know, they disqualified some. What I think is interesting, they should have just had everybody at home. You know, no ceremony, just at home. But I tell you what's interesting is that
you got to have you got to have Glenn Close doing the butt though. So I mean, you can't do that.
Well, that was very important.
But that was the highlight of the whole thing. I mean, they need an MC, and I think this is pointed out on The View
Yeah.
by Whoopi Goldberg. Who's it's Whoopi Goldberg with the other comic,
Joy Behar.
Joy. She hit it on the head. There was no humor. Everything was just, it was like, you know, one thing, too many people talking too long in speeches.
They didn't.
Those speeches went on forever.
It went on forever, and it was like there was no
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the year that
I was watching.
Jack Palance. Go ahead.
I was watching the Facebook and Twitter feeds while the show was going on, and Boozler says, "I'm playing them off in my head."
Yeah,
these people are going along in their speeches.
Yeah,
that's hysterical.
I'm playing them off in my head.
Off in my head.
I mean, if Glenn Close is doing the butt is your highlight of the entire thing, you know, there's something wrong.
Not good. Not good. But you know, the Oscars will be fine once they get into, you know, into the Kodak Theater, and there's 2,000 people there. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but you should. But if you can't have that, then don't have anything. Just you know, the Emmys played it brilliantly.
Yeah.
You're at home. You're with your family.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
the Golden Globes were good too.
And also the year that Jack Palance won for City Slickers. And remember, he did like 3 one-handed push-ups.
Yeah.
And he was 72 years old. And Bruce Vilanch kept feeding Billy Crystal these insanely funny jokes about Jack Palance. Like he'd say, for those of you who don't know, Jack Palance has just bungee jumped off the Hollywood sign. You know, just one after the other. They didn't. You're right. You're exactly right. There was no. That's what Joy said. Yeah. There was no jokes. There's no funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can either be funny or solemn, but you got to be one or the other.
Yeah,
and it was neither. And it was neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only person that had a good song was Tyler Perry. He was really good.
No, that was good. That was good.
That was the highlight.
Daniel Kaluuya. Should try not to drink before he wins an Oscar.
He was the same way at the Golden Globes. He was like,
You know what his mother said? They asked his mother, "What was it like being there with your son?" She said, "An embarrassment."
Oh, gee.
She said he should try to control his habits before he's out in public. She was pissed.
Jeez, I guess.
Well, you know, she's right. He was hammered.
I thought the Korean actress who won for Best Supporting Actress was adorable.
She was great.
Yeah. She was good.
When she turned to Brad Pitt, it was kind of like this. I have to do this to meet Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, nice to meet you. That was pretty good.
No, she was great. But you know, I hate when why are you hammered? You know, why don't the next thing you say, hi, I'm Daniel and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Daniel. That should be the next thing you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, also,
and I've had the drinks. I've had the drinks at Union Station too, and he had to be drinking a lot. So,
yeah,
I think it's the first that they were doing edibles legally. So I think there's a lot of edible, responses going on.
Wait, you think legalizing it stopped people from doing it before?
No, it seemed to elongate the speeches, So-
Yeah.
I think that you know why? I think there was no one there saying cut. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there was no, and God bless. What was the host's name? I can't remember her name.
Hell, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
It was a memorable show, wasn't it?
She was.
You talk about Regina King?
Yes.
You talk about Regina King? Okay.
Yeah. She did the best she could do. She did the
Yeah.
best she could do, but not good.
I wish if they were going to do it at Union stations, they would have gone down to the tracks and had the trains coming in and
Now
out. That
you're
would have
talking.
been,
Yeah,
Exactly.
That would have been a
you're
show.
And watch a loser throw themselves on the track because the train is
or
coming.
jump out of the way and do your acceptance speech.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and
Only
it
the
was
winners
too disjointed. You kept forgetting they were in Union Station, and then they're here and they're back. It's like it was you had to think to watch it, and I thought, no, I'm supposed to be sitting here being entertained. This isn't Shakespeare.
The only thing that was fun for me is I got all my picks from DraftKings.
Well,
I got all the odds, man. I knew exactly what was going to, and they were wrong. They were wrong.
Did anybody here see Nomadland?
I did.
I
It
did.
was pretty good, actually.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it was good. But I also lived in North Dakota and South Dakota. So
I liked it. I didn't know beforehand, but I probably could have guessed that McNorman was the only professional actor. And I just thought it was I just thought it was a good movie. It wasn't my favorite.
What was your favorite?
Of the ones that I saw?
Well, otherwise you couldn't say it was your favorite.
I have to see the rest. I saw 3 of them. I saw Menk. I saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And
I love that.
And I saw, what's that?
I love that.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a lot of good performances.
She should have won. She should have won.
I love Chicago 7.
Oh, I saw Chicago 7 too. I forgot about that. That was my favorite.
I love that movie.
Chicago 7 was my
that
was my of the 4 that I saw. Chicago 7 was my favorite.
For me, it was a tie between.
And I did see the Promising Woman, and that was actually pretty interesting to watch. That was an excellent show.
She's a great actress.
I think that was going to be remembered.
Carey Mulligan's a great actress.
I never heard of
that movie.
I never heard of Seyfried before Mank. I thought she was great.
She was in Mean Girls.
Oh, was she? Well, how about that? Didn't even recognize her.
Oh yeah.
But Gary Oldman gives a nominatable performance every time. So I mean, I expect him to get
what's funny? Years ago, he was quoted as saying, "I have no use for awards. I don't need awards. I don't do this for the awards. I think it's a dog and pony show." But when he won his Oscar, he was really overcome with emotion. He really was, about how it meant so much to him at this stage of his life to receive this. And I thought, and I wasn't being cynical about it. I really thought, that's a nice transition for him. It wasn't hypocritical. He said, I've changed, and this means so. I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
What I hate, maybe hate's too strong a word. What bothers me is when people say, "I don't watch the Oscars, they're shit." Then don't talk. Then shut up.
Yeah.
Then don't comment on it. If you don't watch it, you can't comment on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I don't watch the Golden Globes. I don't think I've ever seen the Golden Globes. I didn't even know they were televised until about 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, man.
And I guess they just didn't make a big deal out of them because. And I knew when somebody was nominated for a Golden Globe because whenever they got nominated for an Oscar, they'd say they won the Golden Globe. Or,
That's correct.
And what happens is, like Madonna won the Golden Globe for Evita, but she didn't win the Oscar. So nobody remembers that she won the Golden Globe. You know what I mean? What's that?
She wasn't nominated.
Yeah,
I know. So nobody remembers the Golden Globes once the Oscars come out. Golden Globes are good for a day or two, and then the Oscars.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Golden Globes are fun.
yeah.
Okay,
They're
the
fun to
Golden
watch.
Globes are fun because everybody gets hammered. Okay, everybody gets hammered, and it's no one really gives a shit if you win, and you're just there to have fun. You're just there, you win. Oh, that's good. It's there's the booze is never ending.
Well, and what do they? The Foreign Press Association, aren't there only
That's
like
the Golden Globes? Yeah.
30 members of that?
Yeah,
It's
and
not,
it's
not a
30
big
people.
group.
Yeah. Well, Clint Eastwood was disqualified forever for voting for the Oscars because it was discovered he gave his ballot to his secretary.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But which is better because it used to be he gave it to a chair.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Well, Sam, you voted. What movie did you vote for best film?
I think voting is a personal issue. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
all right.
Don't
All
smack me. I voted for Ma Rainey.
Okay.
Because the thing that guides me is the performances.
Yeah.
And Glenn Turman, Chadwick Boseman, her, I can't remember some of the other, but just there wasn't a sour, no pun intended, because it was a music thing. But there wasn't a sour note. There wasn't a bad acting. There was no one you said, we could have done without that. They were all wonderful. And Chicago 7 was my second choice.
Yeah.
Because it moves so well. The transitions they made. And I thought someone who should have gotten nominated and didn't was Frank Langella.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was perfect as that judge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that judge was an enormous piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, just a staggering piece of shit.
I think what was remarkable about that film as well is that for those of us that were there at the time, that was exactly how it happened. Although we didn't know the whole backstory of.
It was exactly. That's right. Well, that's the other thing. Usually
no one sugarcoated anything.
No, usually when you see a movie based on reality, in fact, not usually, always, it says based on.
Yes,
because they play loose with the facts, and that's Green Book, that's Beautiful Mind. It's any movie based on reality is always based on because they play with it.
Yeah,
but in Green Book, I thought the dumbest thing I heard was I can't remember his name now. Don Shirley, Doctor. His family. This tickles me. Was incensed. That's the word they used because remember both Cadillacs were like a turquoise green, like turquoise.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were not turquoise. They were black. That kind. Calm down. Lay off. Try decaf. Jesus Christ. That's what bothers you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like I remember that the was Mask was the movie Cher was in, right? About the
right. Eric Stoltz. Yeah.
Eric Stoltz. Yeah. So the mother of the kid in the true story said,
"Hello, Mark.
Mark, we lost him.
Mark
was
Bob,
there he is.
Am I here?
Not yet.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. Anyway, so she was upset that they portrayed him as a Bob Seger fan, not a Bruce Springsteen fan. Well, as it turns out, Bob Springsteen wouldn't sell the rights to use his music, and Bruce Springsteen wouldn't sell the rights to use his music for the film, but Bob Seger would. So there you go.
Yep.
Bob
Springsteen is Bruce's very jealous, bitter brother.
Yeah.
Neither one of those two guys are jealous of each other. They both did very well with their careers. So.
Indeed.
Can you imagine being Bob Crosby?
Oh, Bing's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what's worse. Although he had a nice listen, he said, I know who I am and I know who Bing is, and I make a nice living in with my music. He was fine with it.
Yeah.
He really was. and being supported, I don't mean financially, but being supported him whenever he could,
Yeah.
Hey, come
Right.
see my brother at the palace, that kind of thing. They had a nice relationship. But what always just laid me out was Eric Douglas, Michael Douglas's brother,
Oh, I
because
never even knew it. Never even heard of him.
you don't know about him?
No.
Okay. He has two. Michael Douglas has two brothers. One is Eric. I can't remember the other one, but the other one is gets financial backing for films and produces some films and has a nice little career. Although that sounds demeaning, but he has a nice career for himself. Eric Douglas thought he could do stand up. And that's like me thinking I could play off guard for an NBA team. Okay. And so I was in Boston performing at the Comedy Connection, and down the street was Nick's, which was owned by mob guys. So those of us who lived in Boston referred to it as the Bulletproof Lounge. And he was appearing there. Now, we've all, been in places, and they, if your name's in the paper, they say, give me a one-line thing so people have some idea of who you are, as seen on, that kind of thing. Do you know what Eric Douglas's as seen on was?
What?
Kirk Douglas's son, Michael Douglas's brother.
Wow.
Jeez.
And he'd gotten arrested or kicked off 4 different airplanes because I think he was gay, because he had a dog that, if you're not gay, you made a mistake with your purchase. Okay. I think this dog's Hebrew name is Frou Frou. And he wouldn't put the dog in this, in the container.
Yeah.
And they kicked him. So, and then he I don't know what he did to the flight attendant, but he got arrested. So this is what kills me. They're interviewing him after he's, post bond or whatever, and he says, what really bothers me? Nobody in my family has called me and said, how are you? What's your take on this? What do you think the real story? Because it's the 4th time.
Yeah.
Because you're 40 years old.
Yeah. There you go.
But he's dead. He passed away. And I think it was from drugs.
I have a question. So we're talking about Kirk Douglas and the Douglases. I didn't see him honored last night in the Oscars.
The In Memoriam?
Did he die in 2020?
Yeah, he was in there.
He was in there, yeah.
I saw him. Although I noticed that too, at how many there were. They went through those so quickly.
Well, that's
my wife was falling asleep, and she goes, "Just read them to me." I said, "I can't. They're going too fast."
Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess I was looking down then or something.
If you glanced away, you missed some people because they flew through those. They just must have had a bunch of people die. 2020, I guess a lot of people probably did die.
And because they did the guy from Detroit, the writer. What was his name?
I know who you're talking about.
He did it to Detroit News. Yeah.
I know. He wrote the Paul Newman film about the newspaper. Right.
Yeah.
I know all the storylines. I just can't remember the guy's name.
What did he write about Paul Newman?
He wrote when Paul Newman did a story about being a journalist, and the guy won an Oscar for this particular screenplay. And let me hold on. What was the name of that?
Was it the one with Sally Fields in it?
Yes, Sally Fields, Paul Newman.
What? Absence of Malice.
Absence of Malice.
That was the first time I ever saw Wilford Brimley.
Yep. Anyway, the guy that wrote that was a Detroit News or Detroit Free Press.
News.
Detroit News.
Joe Falls?
Yeah, that was Joe Falls.
No.
Joe Falls wrote 61 asterisk for Billy Crystal.
Did he really?
No, just joking.
Hi, I'm gullible. Have we met?
You are. Yeah, yes, you are.
Is he dead?
There's a lot of guys. Well, a lot of people, and you know who helped a lot of people get into Hollywood was Elmore Leonard, because he knew everybody.
Leonard, yeah.
Elmore Leonard.
Kurt Ludke was the
Kurt Ludke. Kurt Ludke, that's his name.
What's his name?
Kurt Ludke. Kurt Ludke's the guy that won the Oscar for Malice Towards Men.
Yeah.
What's his name? I love the movie. Love the movie Get Shorty.
Oh, yes. Me too.
And so I bought the book. and you'd be amazed at how it's almost exactly like the movie.
Yeah.
He writes like a
line
movie.
after line after line after line.
Yeah.
He writes. That's why they liked his book. That's why he sold so many into scripts, because he writes like he's writing a movie.
Yeah.
God, is he great.
But Get Shorty was one of the first movies that I sat there and I thought, it's the dialogue that's making this movie. Yeah. It's not the scenery, it's not a chase scene or any of that. It's just pure dialogue that you would just.
Well, the story in Elmer Leonard was he lived in Birmingham, which is a pretty Tony area here in Detroit, but he would hang out in cop squad cars with the Detroit police just to get the feel of the streets. He was not a street kid. He learned all that by hanging out with the cops, and he hung out with gangs and hoodlums and mob people and and Sam Greenfield's family.
There are all these great journalists that were like that, and we don't have those anymore. We have no characters anymore like that.
Well, there's no Damon Runyon-esque kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember years ago sitting at a bar with another friend of mine, Tim Kiska.
I know Tim.
Yeah, dude. And Tim and I go way back. And I said, what happened to all these great people? Where do these young guys go every night after work? And he looked at me and said, I think they go home. I was like, well, who does that? No, you're supposed to go to the Anchor. You're supposed to go to bars. Come on.
It's kind of sad.
It is. Why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's transferred from writing to the TV industry. So your local journalists are all TV people now. So they want to get home early for bed so they can get up early at night.
Did you ever hear Martin Mull's definition of?
They got to get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Martin Mull's definition of what?
Hollywood.
No.
High school with money.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. I think it's the guys who run and the women who run Hollywood are the people who were your class presidents.
Yeah.
They were the movers and shakers in high school.
Yeah.
All right. But I was senior class president, so let's not be making too much fun.
And you are an established, outstanding comic.
There you go, running the world.
There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Running.
What was that deal about you want to shave your beard? That turned out to be a lie. Am I right?
Yeah, it's going to be 82 the next couple of days. It may still happen if we get up into the 80s.
I want to see you in July. Let's see if it's still there.
Let's see if it's here in the 105-degree humidity.
Exactly.
I don't know if you saw this. Trump is moving from Mar-a-Lago to Jersey.
To Jersey?
To Jersey.
Oh, for the summer?
They asked why.
Oh.
Get the reason that they're giving. You ready? Because it gets really hot in Florida in the summer.
Oh.
Have you been to Jersey?
Who knew?
Jersey gets hot.
Yeah.
Jersey gets into the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can't. Listen. You're fat and sweaty, Donald. You can't. You're not going to get away from that. It's 97 there. It's 93 there. Come on, man. Get real.
Yeah.
Hey, there must be something he needs in Jersey. Maybe he's being ordered to move there.
No. I'll tell you what I think it is. I think that you remember the people who lived around Mar-a-Lago didn't want him there.
Yes.
I think that probably passed.
Oh no, but Mar-a-Lago closes down right about now.
Because of the temperature.
It's only open during the season. And I think it closes like the end of April.
It's his, you know what I'm saying to you? It's his place. He could stay.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be anybody there because the restaurants are all closed. The dining room closes.
Oh, I see.
It's
the help goes back to Puerto Rico and Cuba,
Yeah.
Honduras and Guatemala.
Yeah, Guatemala. That's right.
Yeah. And other places that, would like to see him die.
Yeah. So he's going up to his golf course in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Bedminster. Yeah.
Well, folks, it's been an hour of lively discussion with comics who take their off night and just shoot the shit, just like just like we did when we were young and hanging out at clubs.
I get to shoot somebody on this show.
Yeah. But we're going off live stream now. But if you want to join us, check out our postings on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on Detroit Comedians and Comedy Fans Facebook group. And we'll see you again here next week. We're going off. The four of us will stay here and chit-chat a little bit.
Till hell freezes over.
Until hell freezes over. But we'll see you back with basically next week. The Oscars will have been forgotten and something else will have happened spectacular in the world. And we'll be talking about that.
My daughter will be moving out by then.
Oh,
well, we'll get a report on that, on Cassie's move out of the Manhattan apartment. Anyway, we'll see everybody again next week.